Nords arise! Throw off the shackles of imperial oppression. Do not bow to the yoke of a false emperor. Be true to your blood, to your homeland, in honor of Talos, and in rebellion against the tyrannical domination of the Aldmeri Dominion and their imperial lapdogs. The Stormcloaks rise to protect their homes, their people, and their very livelihood. In your travels through the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, you'll see the blue and white banner with the snarling bear emblazoned at the center flying throughout the land. Led by their namesake, Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King of Skyrim, they fight the Imperial Legion for their independence and an existence not dictated by Myr. But there is much more to this proud faction than simply being an antagonist for the Empire, and in this video we'll delve into what makes them so interesting. Here are 5 facts about the Stormcloaks. Fact number 1, their philosophy. Support for the Stormcloaks among the common folk is often quiet and kept secret, and in comparison to the size of the Imperial Legion and the Thalmor, the faction is rather small. The Stormcloaks compensate this with resilient passion and an intense commitment to their cause. The Stormcloaks believe wholeheartedly that Skyrim should be emancipated from what they see as a corrupt and crumbling empire. After the signing of the White Gold Concordat, in which the terms saw the Imperial Legion basically bowing before the power of the Altmer, and this led to the Empire letting unfamiliar foreign values dictate what is and isn't acceptable practice in an Empire-ruled province. This treaty outlawed the worship of Talos. Emperor Titus Mede II claimed that this was not simply the will of the Aldmeri Dominion, but also his belief. But there is much skepticism, as it seems like a desperate attempt to save face in a dire situation for the Imperial Legion, devastated by an unsuccessful war effort. One of the foundational factors behind the Stormcloak philosophy and the imminent rebellion was their desire to continue worshipping Talos. So we have piety, which is arguably one of the biggest driving forces of war, but there was also another tipping point that made up for a large chunk of the Stormcloak philosophy, and this was the insatiable thirst for vengeance. The Markov Incident, which we'll get into very soon, led to one of Skyrim's greatest warriors and the future Jarl of Windhelm, Ulfric Stormcloak, being betrayed by his Imperial superiors, and this proved to the Stormcloaks that the Imperials had truly embraced their role as puppets to the Thalmor. If the Empire couldn't uphold their duty to provide a functioning government free from corruption to the people of Skyrim, the Stormcloaks had no intention of offering their resources to them. They sought to put an end to Imperial-sanctioned High Kings and the loyalist Jarls with no merit worthy of the title. As it is the Nord way, the Stormcloaks believed power should be earned, and for that reason the Imperial impostors would crumble beneath. Fact number 2, their origins. As mentioned earlier, the terms of the White Gold Concordat relating to the worship of Talos angered the nationalist Nords of Skyrim, who were downright sick of having their religious beliefs trampled on by the Imperial Legion. Nevertheless, the Nords continued to fight alongside them until it was resoundingly clear that the Empire no longer held the interests of the Nords in high esteem. The Markov Incident was the significant event that was the straw which broke the camel's back. While the Legion were focusing their attention on defending Cyrodiil and the capital, forsworn opportunists invaded Markov. It fell on Ulfric Stormcloak and his army to retake the city, and Ulfric did so in a magnificent fashion. Despite his success, the Empire's submission under the Aldmeri Dominion meant that not only did they fail to honor their end of the bargain in regards to Talos worship, they also arrested Ulfric and his militia. This great betrayal became the catalyst for Ulfric and all who shared his nationalist values. He returned to Windhelm to take up the duties left to him in the wake of his father's passing, and officially commenced his rebellion from Imperial rule. Fact number 3, Ulfric's altercation with the High King. After his release from prison, Ulfric knew that it would take a grand gesture to set the ball rolling on his rebellion. While Ulfric and the remnants of his militia already had reason enough to wage civil war, it was this grand gesture which committed both factions to action. In the traditional fashion of the Nords, Ulfric challenged the High King of Skyrim, Torrig, to prove his worth in a duel for the throne. Some sources will argue that this was in fact a formal legal duel, while others, including General Tullius, call what was about to go down cold-blooded murder. Either way, refusal of said duel would prove to Ulfric and his followers that their so-called High King was unworthy of the title and simply the pawn of a fallen empire. Sibyl Stentor, the court wizard at the Blue Palace in Solitude, was in attendance at the duel. She describes it as a gruesome day. Once the challenge was issued in the eyes of the court, Torrig was obliged to accept. When Ulfric unleashed the power of the Thum, that shout, the ancient and terrible tongue, ripped Torrig asunder. Fact number 4, war tactics. Much like their staunch political and national views, the Stormcloaks take to the battlefield with passion and determination. They fight using coordinated assaults composed of infantry who skirmish as shield siblings. Shield siblings fight closely alongside each other and will give their lives to protect each other. Shield siblings provide a reliable source of defense for Stormcloak soldiers as they attack. There is a clear sense of camaraderie in their fighting style. There definitely seems to be a stronger bond among the Stormcloak soldiers than their red-cloaked counterparts. When you have a rebellion so strongly in support of a cause, inspiring courage and loyalty is considerably easier. And this is what the Stormcloaks rely on despite their comparatively low numbers in relation to the Empire. Rather than implementing strict ranks as the Imperial armies do, the Stormcloaks are slightly less organized, relying on the individual talent of the powerful Nord warriors to overpower the opposition. The Stormcloaks also dress lighter than the Imperials, who gleam like fresh fallen snow and clank like a kitchen, making them far more effective in covert ambushes. Lastly, we have fact number 5. We know that the Stormcloaks are a righteous bunch, believing their cause to be the most just, fighting in the name of Talos, so how does one join the Stormcloaks? The Stormcloaks have a rigorous initiation process. In the case of the Dragonborn, the new recruit is tasked by Galmar Stonefist to venture deep into the heavy blizzards of the north beyond the College of Winterhold. Once they reach the Serpent Stone, they must slay a deadly ice wraith. This perilous test of loyalty and battle prowess would theoretically mean that all Stormcloak initiates are formidable fighters and aren't simply joining the military on a whim. Once this is done, the initiate can swear the oath of the Stormcloaks, making them an official son or daughter of Skyrim. Subscribe to FudgeMuppet and give this video a like in the name of Talos and the mighty Nords if you enjoyed this video, and let us know in the comments if you fight for the Stormcloaks or if you fight for the Imperials. Check out the description as well to find links to our social media accounts. There you can keep up with all the fudgy goodness. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Scott and I look forward to nerding out with you again in the next video.